Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about how to design Tkinter GUI for authenticating the user by sending one OTP to the mobile by using Python program. So generally in real-time applications, whenever you are registering any website or anywhere, first they'll ask your mobile number and immediately they'll send you one OTP, means one-time password to your mobile, and after that you have to re-enter the same thing, then you will be authenticated. So now in this video we are going to learn the concept how to do. So let's design the one GUI application for COVID vaccine registration. So whenever you are registering for COVID vaccine, what are the details they'll ask? The very first thing is name of the person, Samani Kumar or like that, and after that it asks you to enter the age, some 56 I entered. Now it asks you to enter the mobile number 901451 like this, and after that Aadhaar number should be entered. It should be 12 digit. Yeah, and after that you have to pick a date for your action. So here you can change the month, and here you can change the year, and all the things can be done. So here I pick the date. Now after that, here you have to generate OTP for registration. So if I click this one, immediately it's sending one OTP for the user mobile. So here I have given my mobile number, so that here OTP will come to my mobile. So what are the OTP I entered here? 78273. After entering the OTP, just you have to click on the submit button. Then it will show you like this: registration successful, and your registration number is something, and your vaccination schedule on particular date. So like this, successfully it will be registered. So first we are going to see how to send OTP from your Python program to user mobile. For this you need one communication API should be used. So here we are using Twilio. So Twilio is one website. Here you can get your API. So for this, very first thing you have to sign up in this account. So here you have to give your details for creating an account. So it's very simple. Just give your name, and after that your name. After that you have to accept the terms and conditions. Just you have come and go for start a free trial. So after that they'll send you one email for send a mail to your registered email. There you have to verify your account. So just log into your email, click on verify. Yes, email has been successfully verified. So after that, I'll ask you to verify your mobile also. You have to enter your mobile number also here. Then they'll send one OTP to your registered mobile, and same thing should be entered here. So after registration here, you have to give some basic information. So which product you want to use in Twilio. So here we are going to send SMSs to the mobiles. So that's why you have to select. So what do you want to build by using the Twilio? Simple, just identity and verification, just for sending OTPs only. And how do you want to build? So with some code programming, which programming you want to use. So here I am going to use Python, a host code on my Twilio. Yeah. Then just getting started with Twilio. So after choosing this, after clicking the dashboard, here you can see that two unique things for your account SID and authentication token. These both are the unique identities for the user. And here, whenever you open the account in trial basis, they'll give you some free amount. So for every message, for sending every OTP, some charge will be deducted from this amount. So if you want to send more number of OTPs and all the things, you have to buy an account here instead of going with trial version. Now, so generally, whenever you are receiving any OTP, here I sent a OTP. So always this OTP is coming from some number. Send any SMS, obviously you will get one phone number. So here we are on the trial version, you can get a trial phone number. So whenever you are getting a phone number in a trial, so here that phone number can be USA Canada number, you'll get it. So just click on that. Yeah, so this is the trial phone number they are giving to you. So this is the United States phone number. So just choose. This is the basic setup you have to do it. This is the phone number you are using for sending OTPs. So now in your dashboard, so now three things are visible if you carefully observe that. So first thing is account ID, authentication token, and phone number. Now by using these three things, now we are going to send a OTPs to the user mobile by using Python. Let's open the Python idle for writing the program about sending OTP. So what the very first thing I want to do is, first you have to import one module. So from TWI dot rest import client, you have to import the client. So before importing that, you have to install that Twilio module in your computer by using pip command. So pip install TWILIO, not on this one. So here already I have installed that module, that's what is showing. So before running that, you have to install this module, then only you can proceed further. Now that module has been imported. So after that, what you have to do, you have to create one variable account underscore SID. For every account, one unique ID has been given that can be clearly seen here. So this is the account SID. Now same thing should be copied here. Just click on the copy. Now here you have to paste in string format. So just keep that code in double quotes. So it will be in the string type. And after that, you need an authentication token. Authentication token also needed. So here also should be in the string. Here also, here authentic code has been authentication token already given. Just click on copy and paste. Yeah, so account ID and authentication token both are available now. Now let's get into the main part. Now you have to create one object for a client object. So here already we have imported the client module function here, so that can be called here. So it is taking the two parameters. First thing is account SID and authentication token. Both the things are the parameters for this function. Now after doing this, now you have to send a message. So for this, you have to call a function by using the client object, client dot messages, MESSAGES, messages dot create. Now you have to call a function. So generally this function takes the three parameters. First thing is body. Body means what is the message you are going to send. And second thing is from where you are going to send the message, means from which number, you are going to send. Last one is to means to which number you are sending. So generally from is the keyword which are used in importing the modules. That's why from underscore should be used here, not direct from. So that's why generally from underscore will be used here. Now here what are the message you want to give? For suppose if you keep hi, so they'll receive hi as the message in the mobile. For suppose if you keep some number, so they'll receive this number as the OTP. So like that, what are the message user should get? That message should be in the body part. So from means in Twilio API, you will get one number while opening the account, phone number. Same number should be copied. So now user will receive the message by using this account only, from this mobile number only. Now, so here whenever you are sending any message to other person, you have to send that to which number you want to send. That number should be given first. So before the number you have to prefix the country code. For India we have to use the +91. That should be mandatory. If you don't prefix, it will not proceed further. So both the things should be mandatory. So here what are the things you are getting from communication API? Account ID we are getting, authentication token, and from. So to means to which number you are sending. So in body you can give any message that will be received. If you write hello, user after running this program user will receive hello only. If I write some number, user will get number only. So like that they will receive. Now we have to send OTP. Assume that I want to send 6-digit OTP. Means every time it should generate the different number. So import, just you have to import the random module. Import random as R. So I'm importing the random module. Now by using that module, I want to generate a OTP. OTP equal to R dot. If I want to generate the 6-digit number, means it should start from 1 lakh. This is the starting 6-digit number, and here keep the ending 6-digit number. Means it will generate any one random number in between this range. Now what you have to do is, now you have to send that OTP to the another person. So here keep the message. So what is the message? OTP for is. After that you have to append this. What are the OTP you have generated here? That OTP should be appended here. So here I have to convert to the string type. So OTP. And after that, if you want to keep any message, like don't share your OTP with anyone, like that you can keep. Do not share OTP with anyone. So like this I have created the body, means which message has to be sent to the user. Now your program has been completed for generating the OTP. Generating the OTP and sending the OTP, your logic has been completed. Now run this one, run this module. I'm saying here OTP gen. Save your program. So here it is generating one error. Yeah. So here I have to use randint, not random. Yeah. The program has been executed successfully without generating an error. So now it sent one OTP to your mobile. Just I'm sending you the showing the screenshot here. So this is the OTP I have received. See this one here. This is the free trial account. That's why it is showing that trial account like this. And after that, what are the message you have written in the program? OTP for vaccine registration. OTP for vaccine registration is. And after that, one OTP is there. And after that, I kept one message: don't share OTP with anyone. So here I have kept the message: don't share OTP with anyone. So like this, what are the message I kept here? Same message will be received on your mobile. So this is the way you can send messages to any other mobiles, OTPs or anything, by using communication API from Python programs. Till now we have seen how to send OTP to your mobile by using Python program. Now we are going to learn how to design the GUI for accepting the user data and for showing some messages on the screen and all the things by using tkinter module. For this, the very first thing you have to do is you have to install the tkinter module. So it can be done like by opening the command prompt pip nstl install tk. So here it is showing that requirement already satisfied because already I have installed this module. So if it is not installed in your computer, first you have to install this. After finishing this, get into your program. So the very first thing you have to do is you have to import the module tkinter. Import tkinter as, for this you can give the alias name. So this is the way you can keep the tkinter module in your program. So after giving this, now you have to create the root window for your program. Equal to k dot capital T K. So here you have to call the tk function from tkinter module. And after that, you have to keep this in loop, main loop. Now save your program and run. See this one small GUI window has been visible. Now one window has been created. Now if you want to give dimensions for that window, means size, so that can be created by using geometry function. Geometry function. So here you have to give the dimension 450. Here you have to give the resolution 800. Yeah. Now run this one. See this one. Big size on blank window has been created for you. So this is the window of tkinter. So here some name is showing as the tk. Now if you want to give the title for this window, so what you have to do? Again you have to call one function root dot title. So here we are creating for COVID vaccination. So COVID vaccine, COVID-19 vaccination. Yeah. Now run this one. See this one at the top, there is a title for your window, that is COVID-19 vaccination. Now like this you can create one blank window. After that you can add some GUI components here, like labels, text box and all images and all the things can be added here. So let's get into that program. Now first I want to give some heading for this one. So take some variable head equal to, I want to create some label. What the label, you can keep any text by calling the function label. So here parameters are, where do this label should exist first. This label should be there in root window. So that's why give the root. And after that, what is the text to be printed on that label? I'm keeping the text registration for COVID-19 vaccine. Yeah. Now close it. And now run this program. Now you can see that you cannot see anything on the screen first of all. The reason is that if you keep the label GUI component like this, immediately it cannot be seen. If you want to make it visible, then you have to pack that label. So head dot psck pack. So here, you have to give the x padding and y padding, means amount of space for x axis and y axis. Add x and add y 10. Yeah, add y equal to 10. Now run this. See this one, it is showing the message registration for COVID-19 vaccine. Now here it is displaying as a simple text. If you want to make it different color and different font size and all the things, you can make it. For this FG, means foreground color, I am giving as the blue. Means your text will be displayed in blue color. Now if you want to give the different font size and different font style, so for this you can give the font parameter. So here you can give the style. I am giving the cursive and size is 30, and I want to make it as the bold. Bold should be under single quotes. And close this window. Now run this one. Now you can see the big title at the center with cursive font style, and with this font size is 30 and it is bold. So this is the way you can keep the title. Now below that you can add some more frames. So within that frames you can keep more GUI components. So let us see how to do. So this part has been completed. So this heading and title parts are over. Now we are getting into the other components here. First I am creating the frame, one frame for keeping the data. F2 equal to tk dot. I am creating the label frame. Means for that frame you can give the title also. Label frame. So where do this frame should be there? In root. In root window only it should be there. So within that, what is the text should be there? So what is the content should be displayed over here? So I'm keeping the content registration for post 1. I'm keeping. Now here I want to give the same font settings, but size is little bit less. I'm keeping here. Here label color I'm keeping the red, and I'm keeping the font size as the 15. So like this I have created the label frame. So after creating the label frame, immediately it will not be visible on the screen. Until we pack this GUI component. Root label frame, yeah, that's it. Yeah, one more is there, yeah. So until we pack this into the root window, it will not be visible. So for this, I want to pack. How it can be packed? So again, you have to call the pack function f2.pack. Pack. You can call the pack function like this. And here I didn't give any parameters. So now we are going to give some parameters. Along with that, it will be packed. So let us see. So pack fill both sides and expand equal to yes. Now where it should be there? Now it should be inside. It should be in the bottom side. It should be packed. Yeah. Thank you. Now run this. See this one. So below that, this window has been packed, and for this frame, registration for those one. So this is the frame with label. So like this, for this frame, one text will be visible. So like this, I have created frame. Now all the things are ready. Now you have to keep some GUI components for this window. So let us see how to do. So for that, instead of doing it plainly, so define one function which can be called from here. Define registration. So this is the function. After creating the frame, just call the registration function reg. Now keep the packing also within this only. So whenever you are starting the registration, so first pack the frame, and within that frame you can keep the content. So now what is the very first thing you need in the GUI component? First I am taking the enter the username, then I have to give a window. So let us see how to do. Yeah, in registration function I am keeping the variables and labels and all the things. First for taking the name I have taken the variable. So what should be the data type? tk dot, that should be the string variable, name variable. Here I have created a variable for storing the data that should be a string type. Now after that, for displaying the name on the screen, enter your name like such message. So what you have to do? You have to create one label. So name label equal to tk dot label. I am creating one label for displaying the name. So where do this label should be there? It should be under the frame F2. It should not be under the root. It should be on the frame label frame I have created now. So within this frame all these components should be there. So that's why I created F2. Now text. What should be the text I am keeping here? Full name. So what is the full name of the person? Full name. Now here after that you can give the font style for that. So here I am giving Courier I am giving, and size is around 14 and bold. Yeah. So now after that what you have to do, this should be placed on the particular frame. So for this either you can use the pack function and grid function, anything. If you use the grid function you can give the exact coordinates of x-axis and y-axis so that it can be clearly visible. So here I am using name underscore label. Here I am using grid function for keeping this component on the frame 2. For this simply name.lab. So here I am calling the grid function. So here I have to give x-axis and y-axis, that is called as the row number is 0, and column also you have to give. This is the y-axis where you want to keep this. Now run this one. See this one, this is the full name on message key. Now for this if you want to give any spacing for x-axis and y-axis spacing, so how it can be done? For this what you have to do, x padding and y padding can be given. Pad x equal to some 15 and pad y equal to some 15. This is about some spacing. So here some space has been given for x-axis, this some space has been given for y-axis. So like this padding is used for giving some space on from towards x-axis and y-axis, and the row and column are the coordinates, means in x-axis at which position, in y-axis at which position this component should be placed. So like this you have to give for each graphical component, that is mandatory. So like that alignment should be given. Now label is ready. Now what you have to do, you need a text box for entering the data. So for this what you have to do, you have to create name underscore entry. So here on in this variable you have to create tk dot call the function entry. So here it will create one text box so that user can enter some data. It should be under F2 frame, and now so here what I am giving text text variable. Text variable equal to means after user enter the data in the text box, in which variable it should be stored. So here I have created one variable. What is the variable name? Name underscore var. So that should be kept. Name underscore var. In this variable data should be stored, and after that for the data whatever you are entering, if you want to give any font size and font style, you can keep it here. Now after that you have to after that you have to keep this component in the frame F2 by using the grid function. So name underscore entry dot grid. So again here if you carefully observe that both the things should be under the same row side by side, but column should be just beside that one. So now next run this one. See this one. So this is the full name. So here user can enter. So like this they can enter the data. So for keeping the both the things under the same row, I kept the row is same for both the things, column 10 and column 11. So this is at column 10 and this is at column 11. So this is the way components can be placed. So like this, as many components you need, all the components should be placed. For every component you have to do all the things. So the purpose of this variable is, after entering the data here, in which variable you are keeping, that is the variable name underscore var. Now similarly, after the name, what is the other thing you can take? That is the age underscore var. So here by default I am taking in the string type. So just copy here. So you can make copy paste from here simply many things. Now after that, name, entry, age and all the things you can take. Yeah. So but here change the variable names. Simply age. Don't waste time in typing continuously. Age. Yeah. Age. Now here text should be enter age. Enter age. Yeah. Font. Here after taking the age, in which variable it should be kept? Age underscore var. This is the variable. In this variable you have to keep the data. So here it should be under the next row. So I'm giving one space, that's why it's giving the row as the 2. Column positions are same. Now run this program and see. Now you can keep that full name and enter age. After creating the labels and the text boxes for collecting the name and ages, next we have to go for the mobile number. For this also just copy the same text and change the names like here. So I have to create one variable for storing the mobile number, and here I have to create some label, means it will show you one text message that on the screen enter mobile number of the user. So here instead of the age, here you have to keep enter mobile number, so that this name will be visible on the screen. Now after this, you have to give one text box space for entering the mobile number of the user. So that's why create another one. So here, what are the value entered by the user, where it should be stored? Here I have created mob variable, so you have to give that one. So automatically this value will be stored in the variable mobile underscore where here this is the data type I have given. Now after that we have to fix on which row it should be there. So here 0th row, 2, and here I am giving 4th row. Here we have to make sure that label and box both should be under the same row and column should be different, so that they will come side by side. Now here we have to give the grid position for label and as well as entry. So just change the name. So here doesn't need to write the same code repeatedly, you can go with just copy paste. Now run this program and you can see that now see this one. So full name, enter age, enter mobile number and this box. Now if you carefully observe that for entering mobile number, I have, for that message I have used this line, and for creating this box I have used mobile entry, and mobile label grid means for positioning this text, mobile entry grid, so for positioning this box on the screen, and mob where means whenever user entered any mobile number here, that will be directly stored in the variable mobile underscore variable, so that has been mentioned here. So this is the way you can add a fields for entering the mobile number. So after that, as usually, they have to enter the Aadhaar. So for this also similarly you have to create all the things. So now come here, Aadhaar. Same variable name you have to give everywhere. Remaining all the things are same. Aadhaar. Yeah. Now after that, here it should be earlier on row 4, now keep it as the row 6, so that enough space will be there on the screen. Now here instead of enter age, here you have to enter the message enter Aadhaar number. Now this should be stored in the variable Aadhaar underscore var, what I have created here. So almost it has been completed. If you run the program, if you see, it will add one more row. Here it will ask you to enter the Aadhaar number as well as they will give one text box for entering the Aadhaar number. After finishing that, so you have to pick a slot for date of vaccination. So you have to add date picker concept. So for this, what you have to do, you have to create one calendar label. So for this, what you have to do is simply write cal underscore label. So what is the text to be displayed on the screen? That should be given here. So for this, simply you can write same like earlier, tk dot label, and on which frame it should be there, frame 2 it should be there, and you have to keep the text equal to select slot means on which date you are going for vaccination. After that, you can give a font, means what style of the font should be there. So if you want, you can use the same font style. I'm going to use the same thing, just keep it and paste. So almost same as the earlier. Now what you have to do is, here create one variable, so which should store the calendar value. Now you have to call the function calendar. Yeah, calendar. So in which frame it should be there, F2. Now here you have to give the select mode, on which basis it should be selected. It should be in device. Now by default you have to set one day, month and year in the calendar, so that by default it will be selected. So here I am giving year equal to 2021, month equal to 6, day equal to, I have given some 30. So like this you can fix this one. So if you run this program, directly it will not show anything on the screen. The reason is that till now I didn't keep it on the grid. And one more thing, here you have to install one module calendar, means for this already it has been installed, just you have to import. So for this, what you have to do is, you have to go top. Now here you have to add one library, import tk calendar, not import, from tk calendar import calendar. So like this you have import. So after that you have to add label. So how it can be done? So similarly you can take it as earlier. Yeah. So here I am giving calendar label and calendar. So here on which row I want to keep it? I want to keep it on 8th, and column 10 and 11 are exactly same. Now as usual run this one. Now it is not showing any error. So now it asking you to enter the full name, age, mobile number, Aadhaar number. By default I set a date of June 30, 2021. So here like this you can move across the years, you can move across the months, and here you can select any one date as per your choice. So almost GUI components are ready. Now what you have to do, you have to create the buttons, so that by clicking on the button some activity can be performed. Now for this, what I have to do is, first I have to create one button for generating OTP. If OTP will come, then only we can proceed further. So for this, what we have to do is just complete your program. Now within the same function, after keeping all the components, now keep the button v1 equal to tk dot, you have to call the function button. So in which frame it should be there, f2. Now here you have to keep the text. What is the text? I have to keep generate OTP. to register. So that should be kept. And after that, again, as usual, you have to give the font. So I am using the same uniform font style across all the things. That's why I keep the same font here. Now after that, you can keep the active background equal to red. Yeah. So after clicking that, what color should come? Now, so until then, what will happen? That function is, now that button has been ready. If you click on the button, let us see what will happen. So before that, you have to tag the button also. So for this, as usual, you have to give these grading options. Yeah. Now here you can give b1 dot. Here I have to give the row as I want to keep it in the row 6, but column should be, I'm giving something as 50 or something. So it will come in between. Now let's run. See this one? One message is coming here, generate OTP to register. If I click on that, it is coming on red color. So that's why here I have given that activate background. Means if I click on that one, it will change it to red color. So that's why that color has been given. So for identification about that, whether the button has been pressed or not. But if you click on the button, nothing has happened till now. The reason is that you didn't write the logic about that. So whenever you are clicking on the button, if you call some function, then some activity will be performed. Now here I want to go for validation. So here whenever you want to call a function, just you have to keep one variable command equal to function name. For suppose here I want to create one function, the function name is validate. So within that, what I want to do, I want to check that whatever the data entered by the user is correct or not. So this is the empty definition. So here if you want to call that function, you can write like validate. So this is the way you can call a function by clicking on the button. But here I want to pass some values also to the function parameter. Now we have to use the lambda function. Lambda, lambda colon. So sorry spelling. Yeah. So this is the lambda function you have to call. So now here you can pass a parameters to the function call. So all of you already we have discussed about the function calls. By using this concept, we can pass a parameters. Now what parameters I have to pass? So till now what is the data I am reading? Name I have taken, age, mobile number, author, and date. Now what are the values you entered by the user? All such values are stored in the name underscore var, age underscore var, mobile underscore var, and Aadhaar and cal. On these variables data is available. Now these values should be sent as the parameters. Now what you have to do is simply write name underscore var dot get. So what will happen? What are the values available in the text box, that will be taken here. And after that, you have to keep mobile underscore var dot get. And one more thing is that age underscore var dot get. So age, mobile number, name is completed. Now Aadhaar underscore var dot get. And final thing is that calendar date. So what are the calendar value have variable have given? Cal dot get underscore date. Now what are the values you entered? All the values will be taken here and sent as the function parameters. Now after that, you are calling the validate function. Here also same parameters. What are the parameters you have passed at the function definition? All the things should be received at the function call, at the function definition. So for this also you have to give the names: name, age, mobile, Aadhaar and date. So means what are the values you passed at the function call? All such values are received in these variables. Now we can proceed further. So for this, so first you have to convert all the things into the string type, or else if it is in the string type, it's not, it's okay. Now first you have to check that if len of name double equal to 0 means user should enter at least one character of the name, then only it should accept. If user does not enter any name, then it should show some error message that please enter the name. Such message should be shown. So for this we have to use message box for showing one pop-up windows. Message box dot show info. So you can call this function. Now within that you can write the error message. Which type of message this is? Error message. You can keep it here, and after that you can write please enter name to proceed. Yeah, now you kept it. So now once run this one, it is running. I didn't enter anything, just I'm clicking on the OTP to generate. It is not working. At the same time, it is showing one error. Message box is not defined. Means we have to import the message box module here. So first write from tkinter import message box. Now run this one. Now without entering the name, I am trying to click this one. Now it is showing the message. Please enter name to proceed. If you click on OK, again it asks you to enter the name. For suppose if I enter some name as Srinivas, now it is not showing any error. If you don't enter anything, it will show you some error message. Now similarly you can do validation for age, mobile number and Aadhaar also. Similarly you can write so here we have to write Alif. Here you have to check that int of age, because I have taken in the string format, that's why I have to convert. If age is greater than 45, then only they are eligible for vaccination, otherwise it is not possible. So if age is less than 45, what is the meaning? They cannot go for vaccination. So you can keep a message here. Right now vaccination is going on for above 45 years citizens. Like this you can keep a message. Now once run the program and check. Yeah, enter name and enter the age 34. If you click on this one, it is showing a message. Right now vaccination is going on for above 45 years citizens. For suppose if we keep 56, now it will not generate any error, means we have entered the valid data. So like this you have to make a validation of the user whether he has entered the valid values or not. And after that you have to go for mobile number. So mobile number should be 10 digit. If mobile number is not equal to 10 digits, then you have to show a message please enter valid mobile number. Like this it should be shown. And after that Aadhaar number. See, if Aadhaar number is not equal to 12 digit. Generally Aadhaar is exactly 12 digit number. So if Aadhaar number is not 12 digit, here you can keep a message enter valid Aadhaar number. So like this you have to keep it. Now run this program and check. Yeah. For suppose I didn't enter a name, I am clicking to generate an OTP to register. Ask you to enter the name first. So enter the name. Now it asks you to enter the age. I entered 43. It will show an error. Now you have to keep above 45. No error, but it asking you to enter the mobile number now. Now here I entered 4 digit, 6 digit, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the 10 digit. That's why it asks you to enter the valid Aadhaar number. If I keep the 9 digit mobile number, it will ask you to enter the valid mobile number. So that's why you have to keep the valid mobile number, and after that you have to keep 12 digit Aadhaar number so that it will not show any error. If you keep the 11 digit or any other digit, it will show you error message that please enter valid Aadhaar number. So like that it will show. So this is the way validation can be done. If everything is okay, now what it should do? It generate one OTP for you, obviously. Now for that you have to write else. So here you have to write a logic for OTP. So here I am writing code for OTP. So just now in the earlier already we have discussed about how to send OTP. Let's open that code and just copy paste here simply. Doesn't need to write it all the things again. Now for this what you have to do? So you have to import these two modules. Just keep all the modules at the top. Yes. And after that, now what are the OTP code we have written? All such code should be kept it here. Yeah. All such code should be there here. With indentation, just keep it. Now here one thing you have to make sure that what are the mobile number entered by the user. For the same mobile OTP should go on. So that's why here what you have to do is what are the mobile number and we have entered, that should be edited appended to the +91, because +1 +91 is Indian code. Now mobile number should be added to here. Now after that what should happen is, now it should ask you to one label box where you have to enter the OTP. So for this, what are the earlier frame? Actually in earlier frame, all the, if you run this program, so all this, after clicking on this one, all these things should be disappeared. Full name, enter age, mobile number, Aadhaar number, everything should be disappeared. So for this, what you have to do is, just you have to write f2 dot back underscore forget. Now the particular frame will be disappeared. Let's run and see. Run and see. Now here enter the name 47. I picked a date, click on generate. So all such screens should be disappeared. Now after disappearing that, it should give one box for entering the OTP again in one frame. Then it asks you to submit for registration. That logic should be written here. So for this what you have to do is, after that, now you have to use another frame for OTP purpose. In the beginning only create that frame, but don't make it as the pack. What is the frame name? F3. Now for that frame you can give one name. So here I am giving verify yourself by OTP. for those one. So like this you can keep it, and remaining all the things are same. Now what we have to do, we have to pack the same frame here. So how you can pack? F3 dot pack. Now already here, for packing the frame, already here logic is there. Same thing you can keep that logic. Now just change the frame name. So here now another new frame will be added here. So for that frame one message is there, verify yourself by OTP for those one. Now after doing this, what you have to do, again you have to create one variable as the enter OTP here. Beside that one text box also should be there. So for this what you have to do, so already we have lots of concepts earlier we have written for entering the text. Now take one thing from here, now paste it here. Yeah, so here you have to keep the OTP variable, OTP. So in that variable OTP will be stored whatever the user entered. Now here, so OTP label. So here what you have to do, what is the message should be there, enter OTP here. Now so here it will create one text box where user can re-enter the OTP, and here what I am doing, I am packing that in the frame by using the grid. It can be through grid or through pack. Yeah. So like that you can position your OTP variable and label on the screen. But here you can give the positions. I am giving row 0, no problem. So anything like that you can keep it. Now after that what will happen? After entering the OTP also you need one button for submit the OTP. First let's run this one. Entered some name, Srinivas, and age 54, mobile number, Aadhaar number, yeah, pick a date, click on generate OTP to register. Now immediately you will receive one OTP on my mobile. One frame has visible here. Now you have to pack it on the screen. So why it is not visible here? The reason is that here what are the OTP received that should be kept it here. And second thing, this should be under the frame 3. So wherever F2 is there, that should be changed to F3. Yes. Actually, we have created another frame. We are forgetting about the frame 2. Now one separate frame has been created. Within that frame, all this content should be there. Now again run. 47. Other number. Like this you can select and click OTP. Now see this one, it will show you a message enter OTP here and one text box for whatever the entering the OTP whatever we have received in our mobile. Now what you have to do is, now you have to click on submit button for this. That is not available right now, we have to add that thing also now. So you can give the row position for little bit down, you can give around in middle also you can give some 4, you can give it 4, you can give as a 1, no problem, anywhere you can give it. Now what you have to do is, you have to generate and you have to click give a submit button. So already here one button is there, you can reuse that button without rewriting the code. So here you can keep a button. So how it can be done? So this is the button. For this you can give another name, it is the second button, that's why I have given the 2. It should be visible on the frame number 2, yeah. Frame number 3, sorry. Now after that, so what is the name should be there here, submit. So what are the OTP have given, that should become as the submit here. Front and all the things are same. Now here function call will be completely changed. Earlier what I have done, here I validated the data. Now I have to validate the OTP. Means whatever the OTP is sent to the mobile and whatever the OTP entered by the user, both are exactly same or not, you have to check. That can be done here. So validate OTP. Now one OTP is available here. So in this logic, this is the OTP we have generated in the program, and same OTP has been sent to the user mobile. Now that is the OTP. You have to keep it here. And next thing is that, so whenever user enter the OTP, whatever they received in the mobile, that will be stored in the variable OTP underscore var. Now that should be kept here. OTP underscore var. So these are the two parameters here. So the first parameter is that OTP entered, OTP generated by the system. This OTP has been generated by the system. Now this OTP has been sent to the user mobile, so which can be re-entered further. So now what you have to do is, now you have to design the another function. So for this, just create another small function def validate OTP. Here you can keep the two OTPs, OTP comma next OTP received, and general will send the date also, because at the end you have to show a message on which date your vaccine has been scheduled. So I am sending the third parameters also here. Now what you have to do is, now you have to compare both the OTPs whether it is correct or not. So that's why here I have to use the if OTP double equal to OTP received. So first one is the system generated OTP, second one is the OTP entered by the user. Both should be matched. If both are matched, then they should show a message the registration is successful by generating one registered number. So I have to create one registration number for the user. So here that is by using the random function I have to generate a rand int. How many digit number you want to generate, that should be decided first. I want to generate 8-digit number. So one 8-digit random number will be generated. And after that you have to keep one message box for showing some information on the screen. This one is not an error, that's why write show info, otherwise error pop-up window will be open. Now here you can keep a message registration is, if both the OTPs are tallied, then you can keep a message registration is successful, and your registration number is, you have to display that registration number is. So what are the number you have generated, that should be kept here by converting to the string type. And along with that you can keep one more message, what are the date they have selected, that can be kept here. Your vaccination is scheduled on, what are the date user has given, that should be kept here. And after that you can keep one more message, click OK to go home, click OK to go home page. So like this you can give one pop-up message. And after finishing this, after that, for suppose if both the OTPs are not matched, now what you have to do, message box dot show info, you have to keep this. So here it should show as an error message. So that's why it should be the type of message you want to display. Now here you can keep that authentication failed, please try again later. So you can keep such message. Now like this you can keep it. Now and here, yeah, both the OTPs are received in the string type. So here you have to convert into the string type, and after that this is automatically in the string type, but here you have to write OTP where dot get. So what are the value entered there, that will be received here. So now almost coding part has been completed. Let's run and check. The ID showing was and age as the 47, mobile number, right, and I am giving the other number, and here I am picking the date. After that, just click on generate OTP to register. So immediately you will receive one message to your mobile. Now here I received the OTP as 239540. So after entering the OTP, just click on submit. Then will show you a message: registration is successful and your registration number is this thing, and your vaccination is scheduled on 7/10/21. And here click OK to go home. If you click on the OK, it should go to the home page. So for that part you have to write the logic. So for this, what you have to do is, after that you have to call registration main function, or you can reset all the frames. So here define one small function for resetting the frames and opening the home page. So just I am creating one small function definition, def reset, def reset. Yeah. So within that, what you have to do here, you have to forget both the frames whatever you have packed in now. Forget. Now this is for OTP frame. So pack underscore forget. And after that, so call the registration function. So the main menu will be automatically open. Now just simply run your program again one more time. So showing age 47, 48, 48, and after that action schedule. So enter the 11-digit phone number. Sorry. Now I would ask you to enter the OTP here. Just wait. Yeah, 403851. Enter and click on submit. Show you that registration is successful and registration number is action is scheduled on the particular date, and click OK to go. So now it came to the home page. So this is how you can register for your action by using this application. And for this, one problem is there: if same user is registering repeatedly, then it should not accept. For this, you have to go with database concept. Means whenever any new user got registered for the vaccination, first you have to save the data in our database, so that if the particular person is registering again, then you can show a message that user is already exists. So here every person is identified by using Aadhaar number. So now let us see how to save the registered users data in the database. So generally here we are using the MySQL database. As usual, at the top you have to import one module for database, that is import mysql dot connector as and so this module should be imported at the top. Now what you have to do is you have to register the data. So when you have to register, if both the OTPs are verified successfully, then only you have to update the data in the database. Until then you should not update. So means what you have to do is, here what are the data user has entered, like name, age, mobile number, Aadhaar and date. All such data should be there. So that's why keep all parameters. Already up to the date we have passed as the parameter, and remaining things also pass here as the parameters at during validate OTP. Because after validation this data should be inserted to the database. Yeah, I kept it. Now what is the data we are entering? Name, age, mobile number, Aadhaar and date. So along with that we are creating one registration number for the user also. Now let us see how to do. So as usual, if both the OTPs are matched, now you have to go with inserting data to database. That thing should be done here. Now for this what I have to do, first you have to establish a connection with the database. So for this, first, yeah, now open MySQL command client. Yeah, and after opening that, by default generally while installing that I have given the password as the root. Just keep it here. Now this database has been opened. Now here you can see what are the existing databases available in this computer. Sorry, spelling mistake. So data BASES. So these are the databases available. Now for our purpose, I want to create another database. Create database, and database name is COVID. I have created. Now you can move to the database COVID. Now for storing the data in your database, first you have to create a table. So after that, within the table you can store the data by using Python program. Now here I want to create a table for create table and dose 1. Now here the very first thing is registration number. I want to keep it, and this is I want to keep it up to maximum 10 digit. And after that, and second thing should be name of the person. So here I'm giving the data type as the varchar of 30 characters, and after that I have given as the then after name I have taken age, I have taken as the integer. Now after age, next I am taking mobile number care of 10, and next I am taking Aadhaar number is 12 digit. Next, now I have to take the date. So take it as the varchar. I am keeping in the string type only. Now keep it around 11. Now close this. Now one table has been created. Now what you have to do is come to the Python program. Now here you have to write a logic for inserting data into the database. So for this what you have to do, first you have to create a connection object equal to env.connection connect, and here you have to give host equal to localhost, means it is the current computer. So what is the present PC you are using, that is called as the localhost, and username by default is root, and password also by default is given as a root PSSWD equal to, this is also by default it's given as a root. Now database, so what is the database name we have used here, database, here we are using the database name as the COVID, and generally it is installed on the port number 3306. This is the default port. If you have installed in any other port, you can use that one. So this is the way you can establish the connection. Now after that, what you have to do, you have to create the cursor object. So cur equal to co connection dot cur cursor. Yes. Now after finishing this, now what you have to do is you have to insert the data into the table. So write a query for first, query equal to double quotes insert into, and what is the table name, rows 1, and then you have to keep the values. So within that you have to keep the data, and the very first thing is the registration number, that is the integer type, so keep it in the without quotes, placeholders, all these are. Next one is the name, it is a string, and after that next thing is age is a number. Next age, I have taken as a number. Next, I have taken mobile number. So here I have taken it as the string. Next, I am taking Aadhaar. That is also I have taken as the string. And last one is date. I am taking in the string. Yeah. Now after that, you have to add the values, whatever you want to keep it here. Yeah. Format. So what is the very first parameter? So first generate the registration. Yeah. The very first parameter number is registration number, and after that second parameter is name. Whatever you have receiving as the parameter, that should be kept it here. And next one is the age as the integer, so int of age. I'm converting into the integer type. And next, after the age, the next thing is mobile, Aadhaar and date, all are in the strings. Mobile, Aadhaar and date. So mob, Aadhaar and date. Yeah. So my SQL query is ready. After preparing the SQL query, what you have to do is just execute the SQL query. Cursor.exe execute. So within that, keep a query. Now, so after executing the query, now you have to commit your function. Function.single. Yeah, now what are the changes you have done, that will be updated. And after that, we have to close your connection. That's it. Now, after this, your data will be successfully inserted to the database. Then it will show you that registration is successful. So, in case if there is any database error, so then you can go with exception handling. Try. So keep it in the try block, all the things. Where it is, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And after that, you can keep accept. Now you can keep a server error message here. Within accept, you can keep that. Server down. Please try ladder. So like that, you can keep a message. Now almost everything is ready. Now whenever you are doing this, data will be updated. Now let's run this program and check whether it's working fine or not. So enter the name, and the age is 48. Mobile number 9014516148. And here are the number. I pick the date and generate OTP for registration. Now here it sent you one OTP to your mobile. You have to keep it here. Just wait for a few seconds. Immediately you will receive an OTP. Yeah, I have received the OTP. I am entering the same OTP here. 839466. Now click on submit. It is showing that registration is successful. Means everything has worked nice. Now open the SQL database. Now run the command and check that. Select start from close one. Now what are the data entered there? Same data has been updated here. So whoever registering, all the candidates, all the citizens data will be updated here. Now the next important thing is that, so whenever they are registering, you have to make sure that they should not be registered again. That is very important thing. So for that, what you have to do is you have to keep before sending an OTP. You have to keep it. Yeah. So here we have to make a validation with Aadhaar only. So that's why you can keep one more elif here. Elif one of Aadhaar double equal to 12. Aadhaar length is exactly equal to 12. Then what we have to do? For this, what you have to do is first, as usual, establish the data connection, database connection. All the things should be there. So keep the same logic here. Now, instead of executing insert command, so what data you need to do is select, means you have to fetch Aadhaar. In SQL table, you have to fetch the Aadhaar from the database. Select Aadhaar from DOS1. So now here from that DOS1 table, here Aadhaar number will be fetched. After that, it will be executed. Now here doesn't need to write a commit. Now you can keep one variable, in that you have to keep it. So result equal to cursor dot fetch all. So all records will be fetched in the form of a tuple. Now what you have to do, check a condition. If Aadhaar in res, if it is present in the result set. Now you can keep one message box like this. Yeah. Already registered for vaccination. Simple like this, you can keep a error message. Means that particular user has been already existed. So then try for another. You can keep a message like this. Try for another person. Simple like that, you can keep a message. It will show you an error message. It will not proceed further. So then after that, what you can do, simply you can call the function reset. It will go to the beginning again. So after that, you can call the function. After that, it will be connection, database connection will be closed. So before that, you can close your database connection. Now here you can call the function reset. It will go to the beginning. Now let's run this program. Yeah. So here I am again, registering again to the another person, Varun. Age is 59. Mobile number 9014516148. Now let us try to keep the same Aadhaar number. So 1 2 3 4. You can keep all same one. Yeah. Now try to look for a vaccine. Now it is showing that reset now. Just a second. If, yeah, you have to keep it within the if. Sorry, I kept it outside. If, then only I have to reset, not for everyone. Yeah. Yeah, here we have to check that if the Aadhaar is already present. So here this result will contain the as a list which contains each row as one tuple. So that's why we have to first pick one tuple at a time. After that, we have to check that our Aadhaar is present in the tuple or not. So and after finishing that, you have to break the tuple. Doesn't need to go further. If Aadhaar has been found, you can terminate. So now let's run this one. Just click on here again, enter the full name Srinivas and age is some 67, mobile number 14516148. Now here I am entering the Aadhaar number, same Aadhaar number I am entering, which is already present in the database. for checking that whether it's working correctly or not. So it will generate OTP number. So here it show you one error message already registered for vaccination. So if you click on OK, again it should go back to the home and it should start the registration freshly. So this is the way you can develop one Tkinter GUI application for generating the COVID vaccination along with OTP authentication. If you have any doubts, you can ask here.